Good morning, it's Nancy with She's Got Yarn. Today we're going to do a tutorial on my summer dress. I'm going to call it Nancy's Summer Top, because you can make it a dress, you can make it a top, you can make it a beach cover, whatever you want. And I'm just going to show you the basics. So what you're going to need is, well, I used a 4.5 clover. It calls for a 4, so it doesn't call. The yarn that I'm using, the hipster cotton yarn, is what I'm using. It's a number 3 light, number 3. It's let's see, it calls for a 4, but I'm going to use a 4.5. 229 yards, 210 meters. It's 100% cotton, 100 grams, hipster cotton by Premier. I did not pay $7.99. I think I paid $4.99. And this color is called Roller Skates. And I believe this may take about, if you do the dress, it'll take three of these. And I'm a large, so that's a pretty good amount. So let's get started. So you've got your hipster, your scissors, your stitch markers, tape measure, darning needle. This is all that you will need. Whoops. This is all that you'll need for your project, along with your yarn. So let's get started. I'm going to do, initially, I'm going to do 90 chains for the collar. We're going to make a circle, so, I mean, it's totally up to you. Put it around your neck, and you want to have it, it's going to reach your clavicle. Let me show you real quick. To get an idea. So this goes right up to just below my neck, and these go right to the top of my shoulders. So if you fold it in half, let's say you do 90, you fold it in half and bring it around to each, on the top of each shoulder. If it's too tight around your neck, you may want to make it bigger. If it's too loose, I mean, it's totally up to you. I made this to be close to my neck so that we could do the mesh, so the mesh would not be in above the chest area. So it's totally up to you. You can do, I got 2 stitches here. We've got 2 double crochet, skip 2, 2 double crochet. This is single crochet in 3 rows of half double crochet. And then I start the 2 double crochet, skip 2, this mesh pattern. And then you don't even have to use that. You could use this at the top and do mesh at the very bottom with tassels. It's totally up to you. You could do the whole outfit in the mesh for those skinny bathing suit bodies. I mean, it's to each his own. You know, some people are modest and some people don't care, no matter what. So, to each his own. So, let's get started. Now, I showed this dress. I presented this 2 videos ago. So, go check out that video if you haven't watched it. I actually have it on at the end of the video. So, yes, I'm very proud of this, and y'all say a prayer for me. I hope I can do this tutorial for the 3rd time. What it is that I'm having some issues with being in frame when it transfers to the app. I mean, in the actual, my photos, when I video it, everything's perfect, but when you transfer it to the app that splices and dices the videos, all the takes together, it reformats it, and my hands were out of frame and I can't fix it. So I was, I guess, videoing too close. So what I can do now is I'll video up high, and then when I get to the app, I can zoom it in. So I'm learning the hard way. So, all right, let's get started. So I'm going to do 90 chains for the collar of this top. So, and I'm sure if you're going to need to know how to do a chain, double crochet. Let's see if Nancy knows how to do a double crochet. Double crochet. And then, let's see, a half double crochet. I probably should have made this longer. Half double crochet. And I'm going to chain 2 and turn. And then the herringbone. The herringbone stitch is you yarn over, put your hook in a stitch, grab your yarn, pull up a loop. You're going to, that loop you pulled up, you're going to bring that loop underneath the first stitch, yarn over, go through the next stitch, just one. Why is there 3 on my thing? That shouldn't be there. Let me start over. So we're going to yarn over. We're going to pull that yarn through. Pull it under that stitch. Yarn over. Pull it under the 1 stitch. And then yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over. Go in that stitch. Grab your yarn, pull it through. Now I hold it, the project, once you get the hang of it, it's real easy. You'll pull it through, turn it, pull it through that first stitch, yarn over, pull it through 1 stitch, yarn over, pull through 2. So again, it'll be pull through that first stitch, yarn over, pull through the second stitch, yarn over, pull through the last 2 stitch. And that is your herringbone. And it kind of, by doing that, it'll make it curve. And I think it's a nice stitch if you want to cover up real well. Because a lot of crochets are very holy, as we all know. And, you know, this turned out really nice. It's not revealing the herringbone, but also I was looking at it the other night. I didn't block it, but if you block it, it actually, and you open up these stitches, they're really pretty. See how pretty it is? But yeah, I noticed that the other night playing around. So you can see it more on this one. I think I was able to look at all that I got done, y'all. But look, stretching those stitches and opening them up, if I was to have block it, I think it'll be beautiful. Because this one I'm gonna make it all herringbone all the way to the bottom. So anywho, let's get back to the tutorial, and I've already knocked my yarn on the ground. So go ahead and do your chain, and you're gonna want to connect it, and I'll meet you back. Now, I'm doing 90, so I put a stitch marker at number 45. So that's halfway. So that'll mark me halfway. And I'll explain that in a little bit. So 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Okay. I've got my chain. I'm going to do 96. I'm going to make the collar a little bit bigger. Okay, so you're going to want to make your chain into a circle. So you're going to want to try not to twist your chain. Okay. I'm going to bring it together. And slip stitch, chain 1, and I'm going to yarn over and do I'm going to do a single crochet in that same stitch, and then I'm going to do a single crochet all the way across, and I'm going to try to weave in over this tail, Because in the last two projects, that thing was in my way the whole entire time. So you're going to do single crochet all the way across. So you're going to, and there's another way to slip stitch. You can do, if you're really bad about twisting your chain, you do the chain and then just do a single crochet all the way across, and then you slip stitch it. It'll be a little thicker. So you know, the skinny yarn, sometimes it's hard not to get that twisted. So, but I've done pretty good so far. So cross your fingers that I'm still doing okay. So I'm still doing my single crochet, and I'm working over this tail that's driving me crazy. So this yarn is a little bit stiffer than the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa, I don't know, I really enjoyed working with it. I liked how it worked up on the hook. Also the Barocco yarn that I made, the blue one, the teal colored yarn, I really enjoyed working with that, and I will go back to Webs and buy more. So what's going on here? So, all right, guys. Okay. Go ahead and do your single crochet all the way around, and I'll meet you back just before we get to the end. Something I forgot to mention, I am going under the two stitches here. So you can see that I'm going under 2 of those stitches. I just wanted to mention that in case you were wondering. A lot of times people don't mention that, and so I wanted to do it. I'll meet you back.
Changing.
Okay.
He didn't want anyone bothering him in his home.
What I've done is
reside in their homes because they believe that home
all right.
still belongs to them. Sometimes.
Okay. So single crochet in this last stitch, and then want to make sure everything is straight. So my chain is straight. Chain 1, and I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to double crochet or half double crochet in that first stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, half double crochet in each stitch all the way around, and I will meet you back just before the end. Okay, I'm back. All right, we're at the end of our first round of half double. So we're going to do a half double crochet in this stitch, the next stitch, a half double crochet in this stitch. It's the last half double crochet. And what I should have done the last round, I should have put a stitch marker. I'll show you. Should have put a stitch marker right there, right in that stitch there. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip stitch. And just slip stitch. You got 2 on top. You're going to pull through and pull through there. You're going to chain 1, turn your work. You're going to yarn over, You're going to go into that first stitch there and do a half double crochet. And let's put in our stitch marker. And then we're going to do a half double crochet in the next stitch. And a half double crochet in the next stitch. And we're going to do this all the way across, and I'll meet you back just before the end. And what I do is I do 3 half double crochets for the collar after I do the chain single crochet, and then I'll do 3 rows of half double crochet and then start the mesh stitch. So anyways, I'll meet you back before the end of this row. Okay, we're almost to the stitch marker. Got a couple more to go. Okay. So we're going to slip stitch right here. You know what? I'm going to put the stitch marker right behind that slip stitch. Hold on. I want to slip stitch in both stitches. See, we got the 2. And slip stitch through that. And I got the stitch marker in the slip stitch. So I'm going to chain 1. All right. This is the end of the second row. I just wanted to show you the end. Slip stitching. So I forgot to put the stitch marker in that first row. So we're not going to go in there. That's where we slip stitch. Take your stitch marker out. Slip stitch. Chain 1. Turn your work. You're going to yarn over and go into that very first stitch there. The same stitch as you chained 1. All right, and here's your half double crochet. I want to mark it. And I'll see you back at the end. All right, we're almost done, and then comes the fun part. So half double crochet. All right, so here's your last slip stitch. Remove your stitch marker. And we're going to slip stitch, chain 1. Okay, so now we're going to try to figure out, we're going to figure out how long this is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and we're going to measure as I showed a second ago. All right, so we're going to turn your work upside down. figure out the center. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half, and it should show equal parts where that seam is. Yeah. All right. And we're going to measure that. So it's like right at about 6.5. Well, no, I'm sorry, 7.5. Okay, and it's going to be 7.5 on the other side. So what we're going to do, what I have done, is I went 3 inches and put my stitch marker right there. So I'm going to put one. I'm sorry. Got to make sure you do the top. This is the top. This is your single crochet. So I'm going to start over here. Sorry, I flipped it over. So you're going to get 4 stitch markers, okay? And you're going to mark. Let me bring this a little closer. All right. I'm sorry. All right, you're going to measure 3 inches from the end. You're going to put a stitch marker right there. And you're going to put a stitch marker in the one below it too. And a stitch marker right there. And then you're going to put one on the other side. They all will line up together from the edge. Right there. Got one there. I've got my stitch markers all over this house making these outfits. Oh, I gotta gather them all. So, now you open it up. So, this is gonna be the back. Okay, this will be the back. If you line these up, and I'm going to count the stitches from the end just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a little. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You want to make sure they're all aligned. And for some reason, this one's off a little bit. Let's just double check which one's off, the top or the bottom. It's okay. Oh, they match. It's just the way the stitch marker was. So, okay. So what we're going to do, now we're going to start the next stitch is the knit stitch, I guess. I don't know if it's a knit. It's a mesh stitch where it's 2 double crochets, skip 2 double crochets. So we're going to go over that now. So get your yarn, slip knot, and you're going to put your hook in there. Take your stitch marker out, put your yarn on your hook, and you're going to draw through. Oops, come on, it's got to be difficult, right? All right, there we go. And there we go. So we connect to your yarn, and you're going to want to go in both loops in the top, and you're going to chain 2, yarn over, and do a double crochet in your second stitch, Okay, so you got chain 2, double crochet in the next stitch, and now you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to yarn over, and you're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and you're going to do a double crochet in that third chain, another double crochet in the next chain, which would be, I would call it the fourth chain, chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2, double crochet in the third stitch. Oh, I need to pull out some more yarn. It's hanging up. So double crochet in the third stitch, and now we're going to do a double crochet in the fourth. And now we're going to chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2, and then double crochet in the third stitch and a double crochet in the fourth stitch. Chain 2, double crochet in, whoop, I'm sorry. Chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the third stitch, and you're going to want 2 stitches. You make sure you have 2 on top there. Now we're going into the fourth stitch, double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2, double crochet in the third, and we're almost to the end, so I want to stay on here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so right here, the last, let's see. Okay, you got your chain space, and you got 1 double crochet, and you got 2 double crochets in this chain space, okay, right before the end. So what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over and do a double crochet in the top of that double crochet. Whoops, I'm sorry. And then we're going to do a double crochet, which should have been the second chain. I keep forgetting to do this. I'm sorry. Here we go. We're going to do a double crochet in that second chain. All right, so you'll have 4 at the end. All right, so when you get your chain the size that you want, you're gonna go like 3 or 4 inches off the corner once you center it and measure it. You're gonna measure it, fold it in half, and then you can either split it from what the half is when it's halfway like this, and figure out where you want to put your stitch markers, where you want to start your straps, or your top to come down across the chest. So, you know, you just gotta play with it, okay? This is really high up, so it doesn't look wide, but these chain 3, and you put the stitch marker in the second chain, these are gonna be your increases, so it's gonna go like this. And it's going to get wider, and your goal is, well, we're going to do the mesh just above the chest, and then, you know, you put it around your neck and see, you know, where you want to stop with the mesh, and then we're going to start the herringbone stitch that will cover, you know, it's a solid stitch, so you really can't see through it. Depending on the size hook you use, I guess you could use a big hook. It's all up to you. Or if you want to continue and use the mesh all the way, that's fine with me. But we're going to do the mesh on the front and then the mesh on the back. You know, starting at these stitch markers here. We're going to go back and forth with the mesh also. I'll tell you how many rows that I will do, and then you can play with it. You can do the same amount. My goal is once you reach a certain amount of the mesh, then we start the herringbone stitch on both sides, and we're going to do that until we can reach under our arms from the back and front and pin it together. And then once we get it long enough where it does and wide enough where it does reach under our arms, the front and back, we'll pin it together, and then we'll crochet it together, and I will show you guys step by step. But hopefully you understand me. This is my first tutorial, so all critics are welcome because I want to learn, and I'm one of those that learns from the school of hard knocks, and been knocked around, but I always get back up, maybe slowly. Anyways, you guys get the gist of it, right? So, all right, let's start with the next row. So put your hook in there, and you're going to turn your work this way. Let's pull out some yarn. I really like this hipster yarn. I'm so glad I found it. It was right here in my room. It was hidden behind some of my mandala or the butterfly yarn. I don't know. It was in the back there with a bunch of my cotton. I peeked in there behind there, knew I had cotton, but I didn't look all the way across, and it was like on the other side at the very bottom. All right. Anyways, I found it. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2. All right. Trying to stay in frame and crochets. Not so easy. I have a lot of admiration for all my tutorial queens, my seasoned teachers. Up. All right, Nance. All right, so we're going to yarn over, and I am going to put a double crochet in the second stitch, or the first stitch, yarn over, put a double crochet in the second. So you have your increase, your first double crochet, and your second double crochet. So here we go. We've got 2 stitches. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the chain 2 space. So you guys get the gist of how this works, because no corner's the same on every row. You gotta kind of just stand back, look at it, and go, okay, I got a chain 2 space here, so I'm gonna have to skip 2 to do that chain. Sometimes you end up having to do 4 like I did here to get started, and 4 on the first row on the other side. So I hope you kind of understand that. All right, so we're gonna chain 2, skip 2, 2 double crochets, chain 2, skip 2, 2 double crochets, and we're going to do that all the way across here, and just before the end I will meet you and we'll figure out how we're going to do that. It's probably going to be chain 2 here, and then double crochet in the last 2 stitches, and then we'll do an increase on this chain 3. Well, you're going to do it in the chain 2, the second chain, but it is a chain 3. So, all right, I'll see you back. I'll meet you back at the end. All right, we're back. So I'm in a chain 2 space, and I did 2 double crochets, so I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to skip these 2 stitches, and 2 double crochets again in the chain 2 space. And then I'm going to chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2. I'm going to double crochet in the rest of the chains on this end, which means this one, you got 2. You're going to double crochet in these 2 double crochets in the top of them, and then you have that increase. We're going to yarn over, and you're going to, wait a minute, let me take the stitch marker out. I'm being lazy. Yarn over, You're going to want to go in both sides of that, pull up a loop, do your double crochet. So you have 3. Okay? And you got three on this end too. All right, so here we go again. We're gonna flip our work this way. All right, it's for those increased ends. So we're gonna chain 1, 2, and 3. Put your stitch marker in that second chain, as we've been doing all along. I always put my hook in wrong. All right, so now let's look at our work. I'm going to do a double crochet in that first chain space. Okay. And I've got the increase and the double crochet. So I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, skip 2, 1, 2, and then 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space. And I will meet you guys. Do that same, chain 2, skip 2, 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, chain 2, skip these 2, and do it all the way across, and I'll meet you at the end. And the end's going to pretty much look like this end, okay? Okay, let's look at our work. All right, we're going to skip 2, chain 2. We're going to do let's see, 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space. Let me see, it's going to be a little different. Chain 2. I'm just doing, you know, doing it, figuring it out as I go. And then chain 2, skip 2. We're not going to skip 2. What we're going to do is we're going to do a double crochet in that the top of that last double crochet, and then we're going to do a double crochet in that chain 2, that increased chain. Okay, so yeah, we were off a little stitch there, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. All right, so we're going to turn our work. And we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, chain 3. And what did I do with that marker? Oh, it's right here. Oh. You know, I have 2 brothers that are blondes. And my mom was a blonde, so I'll blame it on them. I'm the only brunette. All right, so we're going to do a double crochet in that first stitch. So you have increased double crochet, and then you're going to do another double crochet in this stitch. And then we got a chain 2 space. I don't want to do chain 2, so I'm going to do a double crochet in that chain 2 space, and we're going to have 4 double crochets on this end, which is fine. I think it makes it stronger. But everything is, you know, kind of, it matches. Kind of. Okay. So double crochet, chain 2, you're going to skip 2, and double crochet in the chain 2 space, and I'm going to meet you guys at the end, or just before the end. Okay, we're back at this. All right, so right here at the end, what we're going to do is I'm going to chain 2, skip 2, and I'm going to do 2 double crochets in here and 2 double crochets in here. It'll match this end too. a lot of times these mesh, the edges, like one will have 2, one will have 3, one will have 2, and it alternates, but I don't know. This is the way I created this, so. And I'm not your seasoned crocheter. I'm working hard at it, but yeah. So I'm sure there's a better way, and like I said, I am open for all critics. Just be gentle. You want me to come back, right? Maybe not. All right, so we're going to yarn over and do 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, as always. And that usually determines what the next stitch is. Unless you run out of stitches, then you got to kind of finagle like we did back here. So, but it's all good. All right, so we're going to double crochet in the top of this double crochet, and then these my increase chain, double crochet, and make sure you have 2 little leg, I don't know what you call those, 2 strands of yarn on the top. You don't want one, okay? Double crochet. I almost did a herringbone stitch there. Okay. So, how's it look so far, guys? I think it looks wonderful. All right. So, you guys are going to want to put this on over your neck and look and see where you want your mesh to end. You may want to go another row or 2. You may want to stop here and start the next row with a herringbone stitch. It's totally up to you. But before you do that, let's do the mesh on the back too. But let me see, how many rows? On the first article I made it kind of snug. So I'm going to increase it by 2 rows. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And how I count that is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to do 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to do 4 more rows. So I will stop at each end, so because I think that is more confusing than anything on this stitch. I think you guys got it though. You just mimic this. This one, it was off a little bit, but I would do 3 and 4 probably. You got 4 here on this end. So, but I'm going to show you my ends as I do them, okay? So, I'll see you back at the other end. So, again, you turn your work this way. And before I go, I'm going to chain 2, 3. I keep saying chain 2. I got that stuck in my brain. And you chain 3, and then you put a stitch marker in the second chain, like that. Okay. No, I had it right the first time. All right, so we're going to do a double crochet in that, on the top of that first double crochet. And then I'm going to do a double crochet in the second double crochet. And looky here, I got 2 stitches. So I'm going to chain 2, skip 2, and 2 double crochet. And I'll meet you at the other end. Okay, I'm back. I almost forgot about you guys. I was just crocheting away. All right, so I chain 2, skip 2, 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, chain 2, and you got 2 stitches here, so you're going to skip 2, and then you're going to double crochet in the third stitch, double crochet in the fourth stitch, and we're going to do a double crochet in that increase chain. Okay, so we have, it's a little different on this side. I don't know what I'm doing different, but got 2 double crochets here, chain 2, skip 2, all the way across, and then here we got, you know what? I gotta fix that. Chain 2, chain 2, 1, 2. No, I was right. I don't know what I was thinking. Can you guys see the smoke coming out of my ears? Oh, Lordy. I'm over 40. All right, so I got 3 over here and 2 over here, which is fine. Yeah, that's fine. It looks beautiful. And I got my increases, so it's starting to, if you notice, it's starting to increase. It's starting to sway out. And once we reach the point where we can connect the front to the back on the sides, on each side, I mean, we can just work in the round. You know, that would save you a lot of sewing. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so all right, so we're going to flip our work, and I've got 4 more. What is it? What did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 3 more rows. All right, I'll see you back at the end. Okay, we're back at the end. So I chained 2, and I'm gonna, let's see, chain 2, skip 2, and I'm gonna do 2 double crochets in this chain here on the end, and 1 double crochet in this increase. I know you guys are probably going, girl, what are you doing? Make sure you go in 2 stitches. You have 2 stitches, so you want to go under both stitches here. Whoops. Make sure you go under. Was I out of frame the whole time? Let's try this again. I'm sorry. I have no clue why I keep going that way. So we're going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2. Okay, so we got skip 2. And in here, in this chain space, we're going to do 2 double crochets. And we're going to do a double crochet in Marley. What are you looking for? What are you doing over there, girlfriend? 2 double crochets. And then 1, you're going to go in 2 stitches. Come here. You want to say hello. She's got to say hello, you guys. Come here. You can say hello. Come here. Say hello. Hey. You're such a pretty girl. Yes, you are. You're a beautiful girl. Yes, you are. Mwah. Okay. All right. Go. I gotta work. Girl. I gotta go. Okay. Oh, I hope I didn't mess up my setup here. All right. Okay, I'm back. Marley, gotta love her. All right, so I did 2 double crochets in the chain, and then in the chain space, and then I did double crochet in that second stitch, the increase that we keep making on the ends. So I'm gonna do 9 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got 9. What did I say? 6. How many did I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm gonna do 9. So, okay. So we're gonna chain 2. I got 2 more rows to do. 1, 2, 3. Chain 3, I mean. And my stitch marker's right there. So we're gonna go in the second chain. So now I want to yarn over, double crochet, and I'm going to skip 2. 1, 2, yeah, 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, and I'll meet you at the other end. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows. So I'm gonna go over these rows with you guys real quick. This video will be forever and I'll never be able to download it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I was gonna do another row and I decided, nope, I'm gonna stop here. So I want you guys to see this. You got 2, 4, 3, 4. This is where I made, I don't know what I did wrong. I probably should have went in here. I probably should have done 1, 2, and then I would have done 4 probably, like I did over here. Anyways, it looks fine. But the last one, there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then over here, there's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4. You got, wherever there's a chain 2 space, you want to do 2 double crochets, and then hopefully if there's an opportunity to skip 2, do that, okay? So you can make a chain 2 space. Here only had 1 stitch, so I double crocheted in the stitch, and then I took advantage of that increase there, that little increase. But see how everything is nicely increasing? Can you guys see now? I'm learning how to aim the camera on these. It's hard to see, but yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. I think if I ever design this again, I'm going to do at this chain where we put those stitch markers, I think I'm going to do like a square, make it square. Do like the raglan tops, you know how they do like 2 double crochets, I'll do two single, or what is this? 2 half double crochets in here, so that this, I'll do it all the way down so this can curve and make it square, more square, because this wants to kind of pucker a little bit when I put it on my neck like that. And that's why I only kept it 3 rows, because I had it thicker and the straps thicker and it really puckered. But once the back gets on and you kind of ways down, you kind of adjust it on your body, it'll lay flat, I hope. Oh, the blue one does. So, all right, so now we're going to turn our work. Ta-da! We're going to work. We're going to do the mesh stitch like we did back here, except the back, you can either make it like this or you can do the razor back. What I did is I did the same stitches, but here I did 2 rows of decrease, I think. Let me see. I want you to get a shot of this. I apologize. I don't know how to do patterns. Not well anyway. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I forgot to do a double crochet right there. Ooh, boo boo. So I did 9 rows. So what I did was I started at the markers, and I started out with 2, skip 2, the next row, chain 3. In the second row, what I did was 4 double crochets, skip 2, chain 2, and did it all the way across, and I did 4 on this end, okay? And then the third row, I did 3, and then the 4th row is when I think at the end of one of the 3rd row I started doing it. You can see I did the increases here. And I will show you that part. So, okay, let's get started. I gotta fasten off here. One more end to sew in, right? Oh, goodness. Actually, I'm going to leave the stitch marker here because we're going to have to come back and attach. So, I'm going to leave enough where I can tie on another piece. All right, so now, right, you want to do the front out. So that's why I start out this way. There's your center. That thing comes in handy dandy when you're trying to think. Okay. So we're going to do a slip knot. Put your hook in that stitch that we're going to fasten to. So I pull through. You're going to chain 1, 2, 3. I forgot to show you that in the beginning, the first stitch, so, but it was fine. All right, so we got an increase at the end on each end. So now we're going to double crochet in the next stitch. All right, Nancy. Chain 2, skip 2, and you're going to go in the 3rd, and you want to have 2 stitches on the top, and then you're going to double crochet in the 4th, chain 2, skip 1, 2, double crochet in the 3rd, and make sure you got two pieces of yarn on the top. What would you call that, y'all? I can't remember. And then go in the 4th. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet, 3 and 4, chain 2, skip 2, now this is the hardest part, is this mesh part, and then the rest of it's smooth sailing for this tutorial. 1, 2. So you guys gonna help me think of a name for this top? Or are we gonna keep it Nancy Summer top? I usually name things after my dead dogs. I'm not gonna do it this time. That's not funny, but you know. We're here. There's the stitch marker. Whoops. So we do double crochet in the last stitch. And remember, we flip it. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. And you know, another thing you can do that helps when we're making garments like this is pull out, if you've got a razorback tank top, pull it out. Look and see how wide that razorback, or how far it goes in, and you know, kind of, that's how I think that's why I know how to work on like wearables, is because I know how to sew a little bit. I know how to sew enough to be dangerous. Like, I have a sewing machine. I've made scrub tops when I was in the medical field. I've, mostly repair stuff. Made curtains, made pillows, and, uh-oh. What's wrong here? We got 3 here. So I'm going to have to do 2 in here, which is fine. What was I talking about? Sewing. I bought some material, and I was thinking about trying to make project bags. Like, I need another project bag, but I usually buy them. But, I'm by Stitchable now. I can knit dangerously. I'm getting pretty good at the knit stitch. I just keep practicing. And I watch a lot of videos, and purling I haven't mastered. If I can get that mastered, I think I could do something. Right now, I know this is a tutorial. I'm sorry. Oh, we'll talk about my knitting at my next video. How's that? So, but you guys should have this kind of pattern, and there's a song to it. It's double crochet, 2 double crochets, skip 2, So we're at the end, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a double crochet in the last one. Double crochet, I've got 1 double crochet, so I'm going to go on the top of that double crochet, and then I could go here, but I'm going to do 2 double crochets in that space. Like I should have done at that one. I kind of messed up. And do a double crochet in that increase. So that way, you're off 1 stitch on this side. You got 4 and then the increase. I've got 3 in the increase. So I'm kind of off, but that's normal. I think when you work with granny stitches, this is the I guess, I don't know. Is it a granny stitch? It's only 2 stitches instead of 3. I would say it's the skinny granny. How's that? How about that? Yeah, the skinny granny summer top. I don't know. Oh, you guys let me. I know you guys are probably more creative than me when it comes to naming stuff. I'm pretty simple. So, all right, we're going to flip this, flip your work, and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Why do I keep wanting to go to the right? Is it because I'm right-handed? Nothing special over there to the right. All right, we're going to double crochet in that first stitch, double crochet in the second stitch. Oh, and here, this is perfect. We got 2 stitches, so we can skip 2, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space. That's the song. We're gonna chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the chain 2 space. I know. Don't quit my daytime job, right? 1, 2, skip 2, double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet. I hope I'm in frame. I'm struggling staying in frame, but I'm also struggling downloading where I'm in frame. But when I download it, it makes my hand out of frame because they reduce the size of the picture, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. You just gotta, my problem was I was trying to do close-ups, and that's where I ran into a lot of issues. But you guys probably, I'm going to edit this, so maybe then I can be in frame once I download it. Okay, so here we got to skip 2, and then crochet in the last chains. Let's see, we got 1, 2, and then the increase. Make sure you go under both of those strands of yarn. Can you see that? Go under those 2. And that stitch. And double crochet. Remove your stitch marker. Okay, so we're going to want to flip this way. So, I think we're doing pretty good. So, this corner, we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And this video is going to be forever long. I'm so sorry. And then we're going to, let's see. I'm going to do one more increase. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. So I think I'm going to do a decrease on this next row. So wish me luck. I'm going to go in this first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go in the next stitch, pull up a loop. All right, I had to start over. Okay, so we're at this decrease. Come on. That last stitch is too tight. There we go. Goodness gracious. All right. No, what am I doing? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm getting tired. I think I'm going to make this video part 1 and part 2. This part here, the mesh, I'm going to make it part 1. I'm going to try, and then we'll do part 2. Part 2 is easy. So, all right. We're going to do a double crochet in the chain 2 space. You know what? I don't like that. I'm going to do this. I hate to. I'm going to do a double crochet in that stitch right there. Can you see that? And then a chain 2. And then double crochet in the chain 2 space. These decreases aren't easy. Let's look at them. Yeah, I think this is the last decrease. So row 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So row 4 is decrease, and row 5 I did decreases. And then the razorback, now we'll do increases, and it'll flare out and make it look like a razorback. And if it doesn't, I'll pull it out and I'll make another row. Because I'm making this one a little bit larger than the other one, the teal one, because, yeah, it was really snug. It did not look good on me, I don't think. All right, we're getting to the corner. 1, 2. So, pull up a loop, turn over, pull up a loop, and then go in that mark stitch and pull up a loop and pull through all the stitches. That last stitch there, I should say first stitch. Okay, there we go. All right, I think it looks pretty good. Because see, it flares out here and then it goes in. Can you see that? Goes out and then in. So that was the last of our decreases. So now we're going to turn our work and we're going to work like we did on the front row. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do this row and then I'll let you guys on your own for the rest of this. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. So we did increase, double crochet, and I'm going to do 2 double crochets in this chain 2 space. And then we do the chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the chain 2 space across, and I will meet you at the end. Okay, we're almost to the end. Oops, gotta turn the TV off. Nope. What we're going to do, since we only have 1, 2, 1, we're going to do 2 double crochets in this chain 2 space. All right, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the top of that double crochet. Let's do a double crochet. Oh, that pink is so pretty. A double crochet in that chain. Take out this stitch marker and I'm going to do a double crochet in that chain 2 space, in that increase chain. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, which is fine. It'll look great. So here we go again. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. Whoops-a-daisy. Okay, here we go. 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet. And see these 2? You're going to want to skip those with a chain 2, so we're going to go into the 3rd double crochet. Boy, that pink doesn't last very long. 1, 2, but it sure is pretty. Get your mojo going, those pretty colors. I was pretty excited to see that pink. Oh, here, it's back. It's back. All right. You know, if I'm going too fast, which I doubt, you could slow me down. There's a way where you do the thummies. There's a little thing there you can adjust the speed, and I can sound like I'm stoned. I do it all the time because I'm slow. 1, 2. All right, we're coming up here to the end. All right, so I'm going to do chain 2, and then I'm going to do a double crochet in that stitch, double crochet in the chain, and a double crochet in that increase where the stitch marker is. Okay, and you guys, you can look at this. you pretty much can figure this out. Do a close-up. And yeah, this is going to be part 1 of, what were we going to call it? The Skinny Granny Summer Top, right? What do you think? Let me know. So this is part 1 to the tutorial. I want to thank everybody who's going to take part in this. This is like really, this is a big thing for me. You know, I've come so far. Yeah, I'm very proud of this. But I do want to say, I want to thank all of the YouTube content creators in the yarn community. I want to thank everybody, because everything I do, I've learned from you guys, especially the seasoned ones, and you know who you are out there, and the ones that I watch, and they know who they are. I'm very grateful. They've taught me a lot. Pamela, Adoring Crochets, taught me a lot. Jennifer with Cinnamon Stitches. Oh yeah, girl, you inspired this. Okay, thank you. And just everybody. Lynette, Charm Greamy, she's really pushed me. I visit on Zoom with all those ladies, and they've kind of pushed me out of my comfort zone too. So I made a blanket with the Crochet Crowd, a very intricate Afghan, and that was really big for me. And I made an amigurumi. I made a couple. So anyways, this is a tutorial. I keep forgetting. So I love you guys, and I will see you back, hopefully part 2. Bye.